And it just works. Holy crap.
It's for the first time ever. It only took us 99 tries.
And then there's a song or something.
Hey, Grandma, can you come get me from the rap battle? No, I didn't win. No, he saw you drop me off. It was pretty much over after that. He did a pretty devastating rhyme about it.
What's that from?
I have no idea. Also this,
Sweetie, have a good show. What you do is so important.
which is Maria Bamford. And I think about that all the time, but like I only have like one friend that listens to this podcast. And so I always think about that. Like, so I'm about to go do something. I want to say it to people all the time. Like, what you do is so important.
Thanks, one friend.
You're now my one friend. Two friends. How's it going?
Yeah, good. Feel pretty good, despite very little sleep. It'll smash me later. Stayed up way too late.
Yeah, I saw some Instagram post you made. And Laura's like dogging you in the comments, like, you look way less tired at this speed.
Yeah. I stayed up under the guise of doing updates to the configurator, which was true. I had to do it. I thought I'll do it in the middle of the night when we don't have many users on our website. And it went pretty well, but it didn't go well for a while. And I was like, oh God, how long am I going to be here?
Is there
like,
a rollback
pinging off?
you can do?
That was a no rollback situation. That was a deinstall.
Ugh. Just turn it off and back on again.
And then pinging off emails to the team in Finland going, help. Little desperate, tired Loom videos of like, I've tried this. It's just not working.
What's the time difference? Like, if it's is there a chance they're awake?
They were in the office.
It's like, we're like, what, 18 hours or something apart? It's ridiculous.
Well, you were up for the first time ever before I went to bed.
Yeah.
That's an unusual situation.
Happens once in a while. I was up late last night for absolutely no reason at all.
Were you updating configurators to website?
I was looking at TikTok probably,
Yeah, no judgment.
thinking about other stuff that trying to get my social media posts to work.
Yes. How are you?
It's been an hour since I posted a video this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It has 4 likes.
What is going on?
Killing it.
Maybe you have been shadow banned.
I don't know. I mean, you can just say that the quality is bad too. Like, I'm fine with that. I wish there was like, they should give you a rating. You know, like, do some
That'd be
Black
great.
Mirror stuff. Like, at least let me know what's going on.
And
I'm providing your product with content that you want us to have. Yet I don't know how to do what's wrong with it.
you need an independent assessment panel. Let's do a review of Justin's content.
Independent.
Could have a gloves off, ask me anything. Content
Ooh,
review.
So what happened to the configurator then? Is it
Nothing
got
happened.
some fun new
I
feature?
just hadn't started paying for it yet, thankfully.
Oh,
And
so they shut it off.
there was some glitch with the billing, which meant that we just had to do a wipe and deinstall it from Shopify and relink it. And I relinked it, and there was a sofa. I was like, no, we don't sell sofas.
You had like rave, like people just mad ordering them real quick. We sold 16 sofas last night.
No, we have to
Johnny's
work
like,
out how
we
to make
don't.
them."
What? We make sofas now?
Yeah, I had a little message up there saying, if you see a sofa, do not be alarmed. And anyway, I sorted that out. I think it's working again. I hope it's working again. Seemed to be when I went to sleep. Yeah, that was all. So now we're paying for it.
Your sofa would just be like completely made out of like dowels, like strapped together,
Yeah.
twined together all the way up and down.
Yeah. Who was that famous like Dutch design house that was cool when we were going through uni? Droog or something.
I thought you were going to talk about the Japanese guy that used to use like paper tubes for everything. Oh, Shigeru Ban. Duh. I should have known that. Was the paper tube guy.
Did my screen
I don't
share
know. Oh,
work?
there. Okay. It's working.
Drop it in.
Droog. I think I might have seen one of their things in a museum at one point.
Yeah, it's possible.
Keijo Remy.
I love this stuff. When I was studying.
Wait. So Droog is a website
I think Droog was, I'd have to fact check
Droog.com.
this, but I think Droog was like a collective. I'm probably saying that very wrong. Sorry, Dutch people. I reckon they were like a design collective, but
cannot read this website. I don't know how you found anything on here.
long time ago. It's called Google.
This is the part of the show where Justin and Jim just look at stuff on the internet for a while.
I like this section.
Do you guys like it?
But no, yeah, configurator update. And then I was trying to get ChatGPT to help me like format the way the thing was sitting on the page. I was like, I think I need some custom CSS code here, but I don't know. And I was screenshotting and asking ChatGPT, and it was utterly useless. Did not solve my problem. I was cursing it all, but maybe you would know. I'll ask you later.
Yeah, maybe.
Sounds like you're hand coding your
I know a
Shopify
little.
pages.
I know that's like the thing I know most is HTML and CSS, and it's not extensive, but it's the thing I've been doing the longest. I had one minor software corner thought. The GPT-4 0 whatever the heck they're calling it.
Omni.
I dropped in an unfortunate side effect of the now third week I've complained about nesting was it figured out how to print labels. It took an hour and a half. I had to hand edit in VS Code the HTML file that created the labels that came from Fusion.
From Fusion, yeah.
Because none of they wouldn't go onto the sheets properly. There was all this overrun, like it wasn't truncated right, and so I had to like bulk edit out like text so that it would fit, and then I still had some issues. Then I get them printed finally. I give them to Ricky, and I was just like kind of satisfied that I'd finally got it to print out, because there's 130 parts in this assembly, all these sheets, 20 some sheets of material, and a lot of them are just like rectangles that look like each other. So it's like, but slight differences. So you don't want to give your client 130 sheets of pickup sticks to go through and figure out. So we want to put labels on them like you do, and it took me forever to get it set up, and then we got them printed, which also had problems, mostly printer related. And I give them to Ricky. You start cutting the first one, and he goes, I don't know where these go.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn it, that's totally appropriate. Like, I get that. Like, they were sorted into sheets, but then like it would be 4 sheets, and it would say like side 1. And the dimensions are on there, but like some of them had the same dimensions on different assemblies. So like, how do you know which one's on what? Like, you need like a map of where the parts are on the sheet when you nested them.
Out? No, okay.
It does, but in a really janky way where there's a tiny, tiny number on the sheet in like electric yellow, green that doesn't print. So I had to hand make every sheet as a screenshot and label each part on the sheet on my screenshot, so that Ricky could then put the labels on the products. So I make like 22 different screenshots. Took me like 30 to 40% longer than it should have to do this job because of how bad the nesting tools are. And in the end, it still felt like crap, and well, okay, so I get back to the software part. I drop in my screenshots because that Shotter app that we use to do screenshots just makes kind of like arbitrary names.
Yeah.
But on each sheet, inside the screenshot, there was labels of the sheet. We always put the sheet number in the same spot on a screenshot or whatever, so we know And so I was like, all right, in each of these screenshots I made, there's a number in the lower left corner. I want you to rename all the files to that number inside each file. And then give me a download as a zip file.
Didn't know it could do that. Cool.
Just like with basically that description, I got the files back, downloaded it, and had all my files renamed for me.
So all that...
Just as an experiment.
That's right. I didn't know you could do that. So why wouldn't you... all that grunt work that you're doing with cleaning up code and labels and stuff, did you try feeding any of that work to ChatGPT?
Well, it was a lot of like search and replace. I wasn't like clicking. It'd be like, I want to change all the names of this component or this assembly that was like way too long and strung out to like crunch it down. So then it would just search and replace in VS Code. So yeah, I could have. I thought about trying to ask it to like reformat the labels for me, but I don't know. I think where I'm at this point, because I was just like, all right, this client wants to do more cabinets. I don't see how they did anything wrong in presenting me files. I feel like I'm supposed to know what I'm doing here, and I cannot. This should have taken like multiple hours shorter, ultimately.
Yeah.
And like the amount of time it took Ricky to label the parts still, even with my sheets, was still way too long. So I tried out MapWords a little bit, and there's some good improvements. I have some examples. I haven't played with it too much, but it's $25, first of all, one-time payment per user. So like your login is associated with it. And frankly, it's pretty dang good. I think the biggest downside is I'm going to have to figure out how to generate labels from a CSV file. But I think I can probably get GPT to do that much faster than I went through the chaos of the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never found a good workflow for this. Like whenever we've had big cabinet jobs, lots of sheets,
good to hear.
Lots of parts. I've thought, what did we... I was when we were doing those... yeah.
That one. The never to be spoken about projects.
Our favorite client. Can't believe we've both dealt with them. It's so funny. When we were doing that, we got a label printer. Then we got a label printer set up on Johnny's CNC station out there, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And we ran all those parts with nesting extension. And did we even use it? I don't think we did. But yeah, it's tricky to convert. Yeah. Basically, I've ended up in the same spot you are, where I've like manually screenshotted the sheets, the sheets in Fusion and applied labels to them and then printed them out and given them to whoever's on the machine and said, here, can you just write these codes on these parts as they come off the machine, please?
I think you probably listening to this and think, well, haven't you had this problem many times before? And
nah.
I guess I have, but I'd say this is slightly larger than our normal amount of parts in one nested job. 22 full plywood sheets of parts. Frankly, not a hard job. Like the programming, I could have had it all basically auto-programmed through templates in like 1/5 the time it took me to label the sheets for Ricky.
Yeah. Look, like, it's because we don't do this very often. I think that's, there'll be people listening to this who are cabinet shops basically who run just nested parts of cabinets all day, every day. And they probably run Microvellum or Mosaic or something that's just like natively generates formatted thermal labels with barcodes and all that cool stuff.
Right. So in the end, I guess the question, was first for me, how do I proceed again? Because like this is bread and butter kind of cutting. We should be able to do this. And if nesting and labeling is the problem, then there's ways around that. But like ultimately, if you are a cabinet shop, are you rebuilding your customers' files in your own software? Because like if you got some step files or nested or just boxes of Fusion files, like Mosaic's not dealing with that, I don't think, or Microvellum or Cabinet Vision or whatever. How do you just do this simply?
Well, they're probably just making them all natively in that software, right?
That's right.
Oh,
It's got to be that.
You want these base cabinets? Blah, 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 blah. Here you go.
Right.
Punch them out.
Probably have like a template to just, right.
Yeah, I don't see them like bringing in customer prepped files and doing like, which is, you know, what the Voldemort job that we shall not speak of was. It was like poor quality customer supplied files that we then nested.
Right. Part of my fear of doing that job that we ended up not doing, luckily, was this exact thing that I'm dealing with now. It was like supposedly 1,500 sheets of material, and like I was gonna have to nest them potentially and like label all the parts, and I just was always like, I don't have a workflow for that. Like I think Fusion can do it, you know, as what I'm trying to do now, but I cannot imagine. Like I would have lost my mind, I think.
Yeah.
I was telling Erin this, and she uses Revit kind of, well, every day for her work. And there's a pretty good culture of, she used to have an old coworker that actually makes a really popular plugin for Revit. And she was like, has anybody made like an add-on or a plugin for this? And I was like, well, yeah, there's one. She's like, but wouldn't you think it'd be really popular to like make more of these? And I was like, yeah, I wish, man. Like, I don't know of any others right now. So
without dragging our dear friends at Autodesk through the dirt, because I don't want to do that at all. But like, do you have a sense of what the culture is around, or the attitudes towards third-party programs is? Because I didn't expect Mapboards to survive, and it makes total sense that it has, because it's so cheap compared to the Pro nesting extension. But like, is Autodesk supportive of the App Store?
I believe there's employees that have apps or add-ins on their own App Store. I think it helps that they have their own. Maybe in some sense they just feel like it's not something to worry about as a competition to some of their products. And just like any major company too, it's like they could just see the idea and go, well, now that's something we're going to make too, you know, like, and I think as long as it's, I don't really know their policy per se, but I do like that they have an actual store that you can go get stuff from.
Oh, me too. It's great. I suppose they would see like analytics too. It's like, oh, this app's doing really well. There's obviously a demand in our software for this functionality. Like,
right. They just got the statistics right there for themselves to do the Amazon basics, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll try not to continue my complaints about nesting, but I guess I'm just largely curious too, like how you go about, how other people go about dealing with this kind of stuff, because it really shouldn't be hard.
Yeah, I'm super curious what other solutions are out there in other software.
Like I kind of, you know, just at the end of having done it, I looked at, you know, having programmed the files and all that, I was like, this should be almost like a 3-click thing. Like we're drilling 2 sets of holes, datas, cutting out parts, making labels. Like I should be able to like click a button and it just gives me all of it. Post all the files. Like it's not hard. It's not complicated. It wasn't deviating. Tolerances were not a problem.
Yeah, well, I think that's what
Silly.
Microvellum does. Like that crazy program that's like built in Excel and sits over AutoCAD. Like it posts,
making me get a little bit gaggy. What you're saying there.
It posts.
Oh, you mean the nesting tool
and labels and does all of that cabinet fun times, and it's like $30,000. So,
right,
get what you pay for, eh? I still think like there's a side of Fusion which is it's come from a different world. It hasn't come from
Yeah, right.
certainly hasn't come from cabinet making, and it hasn't
No, for sure.
the wood, even just the woodworking side of it. It's kind of has come from a more sort of hobby perspective than, you know, its core is still real machining, right?
Right.
At some and engineering at some level.
Yeah, and we could go too deep, too far on this, but I mean, just in reality check for the Fusion team now is they're selling a product for exactly this, and it
Yeah, true.
doesn't perform. So, yeah. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. Let's make a new plugin.
I'll start coding today.
I got GPT.
Oh, I've been heavy hitting the GPT this week. Loving for Omni or whatever it's called. O for Omni. I think it's Omni. It gets me. It just understands me. Well, like this.
You got it.
You got it.
Are we the same way?
I don't know.
I might view it.
Justin's taking
That'll be good
screenshots.
later.
No. Couple of special peas in a pod there. What was I saying? The new ChatGPT. I don't know. It's very good at reading and emulating my tone without me even having to ask it, which I'm really enjoying.
Ooh.
So my current, I'll tell you what my current productivity workflow is. As I sit at my desk with a list of to-dos that's longer than my arm, I have the
Oh yeah, I've that too.
I have the old wired Apple headphones in my ear because they have the best microphone on them, and I have the ChatGPT app open on my phone, just in a generic combo, no specific thread. And I hit the little transcribe button, and I'm like, oh, Justin's emailed me. I'm just like freeform into it. Just like, Justin's emailed me about the baby pants, blah, blah, blah. And I want to respond with this and this and this. And then I'll either copy and paste, like use Shotter and copy a screenshot of your email into the same thread, just for context, and then just hit OK. And it generates the draft email for me. I don't even hit send on the GPT app. No, sorry, I do. Yeah. I do hit send because I put a screenshot in there, and then generates a draft, copy and paste that back seamlessly between my phone and computer, because that's just the best feature in the world ever.
It is.
And
yes,
update the draft, tweak a couple of things, and hit send. And it's bloody fantastic for someone who can't type good. It's the best. I love it.
Yeah, I have a similar. Ever since I got into, I think Text Sniper started it for me.
Oh, Text Sniper.
But now I use Shotter's built-in.
Oh, do you?
Same.
Yep.
It has one lesser feature, but it's got built-in QR and text recognition. But I just screenshot everything all the time. Like, it's just constant, and dump it into GPT, and then like ask it a question about a thing, and then I go away and come back. And I was just thinking as you're saying that, maybe you said this, but it clicked it for me in a different way, that you could absolutely have it draft you the email and then make it be a clickable link that literally opens up your email as a draft, because you can do mail to href links with subjects and the body. So it literally could go from GPT with one click into your email.
Dang. Can you use that mail to function with content? You can, can't you?
Not like, as far as I know, it's pretty limited to just like text. you
Yeah,
can't
sure. But subject and body.
put an image. Right, subject and body. I use it
Dang.
all the time for like on our website, like to request a quote for the shrink station. The button takes you to an email that fills in like, hey, I'm interested in a
yeah.
shrink station.
Clever. Whenever I click on those links, it still takes me to like the native like Apple Mail app
you
on my
haven't changed your
computer.
default. Yeah, yeah.
It's like, what is this?
Right.
This is nonsense.
Get out of here.
And then I
Takes me
inevitably
to Spark.
close the wrong app because I'm mashing Command Q just angrily.
Yeah.
So yeah, this workflow is to the extent that I'm like, I do it on my bike riding home when I want to send any more than a 3-word text message, transcribe into the headphones, copy and paste, which sounds
Yeah.
crazy, but it's like, it's still more accurate. Like so many times more accurate than the bloody iOS transcription, which I'm finding worse and worse.
Right. I've thought about this. Did I say this to you? Do you think it's your accent that it doesn't get? You don't have a very thick, like, I find it very easy to understand you, but I'm just saying, like, do you think that it's trained on like American accents or something? And it's not.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
I don't know.
But-
Just wondered about that because it's like incredibly accurate for me.
Interesting. We should do
Right.
a
I don't know.
a side-by-side screen record off our phones, reading like the same script.
How now, brown
Yeah.
cow? The quick brown fox jumped over the. Yeah.
Yeah. That is all. Yeah.
You could probably. I'm way better at solving these problems for other people than myself. I just end up failing to. But you could probably make a little iOS shortcut that would automatically transcribe for you into like a something, wherever you wanted to send.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be cool.
But I guess if it's iOS based, then it doesn't work very well for you. So
I'm pretty excited about the new action button on the new iPhone, actually. It's currently mapped to a torch, but because I'm getting dressed in the dark all the time. But it's very.
I have mine as GPT voice.
That's what I was going to
Start.
say. It's like,
It used to be pretty good. It's really, really damn slow to start. So I like push it and it takes like half a minute till it gets connected
I
sometimes.
know. I don't love that voice function. Yeah.
Whatever they've been demoing, it's all over like TikTok. I've almost grabbed some clips, but there's some really like sexy like voice assistant. Like they're intentionally trying to make it flirty.
Yeah,
it seems there's some beta version, and they're just like real randy for their users.
They've really gone hard on the personality thing. And I saw that Scarlett's suing them, which bloody I would too. Like Pi as well. Like Pi is such a like Scarlett rip. In terms of that voice that they've
It's kind
generated.
of be weird,
It'd be so weird
right?
having your voice kind of emulated
All right.
in that form.
You mean like
Hi,
this?
I'm Jem from Australia.
Yeah.
I have a lovely, deep honey voice.
So close.
So close.
Yeah, I love I like transcribing. The texting has been pretty effective and like almost like multi capable sometimes, where you can like get it to like send it to the right person and the whole text at the same time, which didn't used to work. But I use it a lot more now on my laptop or my Macs while holding a child, because I can't type very well with one hand. So I'll like if you hit Control twice, it'll pop up dictation, and I just type my messages out like
Yeah, totally. I do the same.
baby mode.
Baby mode. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're 2 weeks from baby mode here. It's getting real close. Real pointy. And came into the workshop last night to try and catch up on my list and do that upgrade. But what I really wanted to be doing is building my little, like working on my home office that I want to make. But I don't think that's going to happen in time with everything that's going on. But that's all right. I can work at the kitchen table. It'll be fun.
Yep. Yeah. Yesterday I was working at the couch with my laptop sitting on the floor while my child was playing on the floor next to me, because that was the best way to get something done and also care for such a weird world of like, I don't know, just, I guess I expected some of it, but it's just an interesting, I guess that speaks to the level of how what childcare is like in America at the moment. I've been, as we've kind of been adding, we added all the tooling, and so I've been trying to add some like tooling kits.
Tooling kits.
Where you get, basically, there's nothing public right now, but trying to add some stuff that, you know, if you have a certain type of machine, you might want, like if you have a hobby machine, you're really going to want a certain size of tooling, stuff like that. And we've had a few requests. Some of our in-person students, the class students, have asked about kits and stuff. And I think it makes a ton of sense. It's just like taking away the choices and making obvious decisions, I guess, for people that don't have as much experience or want a slight deal on something like that. So I've also been considering and been pushed by my mentor to try to make, like, I guess you'd call them like packages more, but it's like all the upgrades we sell for like a Shop Saber at once. And I've resisted it because I couldn't think of how to do it very well. It's like there's like some of these have so many options, like the pedestals going with the dust boot. And I think today I finally thought through a process where I can do that. And it just involves kitting a lot of kits. This is the only way I can say it, where it's like you're taking existing products and they get blended into they're the product inside of another bundle that is a product. Nested product inception.
Yeah,
So,
that could
I
be
don't know.
cool.
Just hadn't thought of how to do it till now, but there is similar, like, I guess we call it, between my wife and I, and after working for Costco, we call it like the Costco effect, where you try to simplify down to like you only have one option, right? Like there's not all of these things to choose, which you end up walking away most of the time when it's too much decision fatigue.
I've been thinking about that with our website lately. I feel like we've simplified it heaps. We've reduced the number of products heaps, but there's still, I was looking at the crate options the other day, and I realized the crates don't have no form of landing page. There's no it was inspired by looking at your stuff, actually. It was like, there's no sort of general landing information page about how the crates work, why they exist, what they're for. You can just go to the collection page and just see all the variants and the bundles and stuff. And then if you go into one of those, you get a bit more information. But there's so much work that I could do on our website just in terms of so much. Like, I just want like a month off just to tinker and refine and make a better landing page. And it's also been triggered by some mistakes we've been making with shipping like really out of date instructions on a few orders lately. Like a QR code went out on a set of shelves the other day, which was really old and out of date, like 10, maybe not 10 years old, but like just entirely the right product, but entirely the wrong instructions. And the client tried to put the set of shelves together and they damaged it in the process because the instructions didn't reflect the reality of the updates we've made to that product.
Right.
So I'll be replacing that in person tomorrow. But I've been going through, as those issues have been cropping up, and going through and updating assembly instructions and spec sheets and stuff. But just makes me aware of how much more work I've got to do in that space. Mm-hmm. Improving information. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have the same kind of thing. I don't know how you catch those kind of mistakes. I mean, I suppose there's so many aspects of it. So like say we update the dust boot and it's got a different attachment mechanism, or it changes the way, or some, the machines that it goes on needs to change. Like we have a pretty standard Shop Sabre installation PDF that turns into a print that we include with everyone that gives you a QR code. It's like that gets sent out when you buy the product. It's an optional download. And then we keep some printed to throw in the boxes. And it's really easy though to just like update the print if we updated it, and like update the images, let's say, and then forget to change the download.
Yeah.
So then the download is a year old, not appropriate anymore, or links to something that doesn't exist. And I don't know how you what system do you keep in place that keeps you from forgetting those things? Like you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know. And like part of the issue, I don't know. I'm not packing cartons. Very rarely will I pack an order. And so very rarely will I natively have the opportunity to go, as I'm putting that QR code on the box or in the box, I like to think that intuitively, if I was doing that, I would sometimes just pick up my phone and go, hey, where's this linking to? Oh, yeah, that looks right. Cool. And I'm not in no way am I blaming one of our team for not doing that, but I just feel like there's this siloing that happens in teams at like all these different ways and different levels. And like you can have the most tight, cohesive little team, but there's still an element of like, that's not my jam. Like I don't need to do that. And I don't know how to get around that really.
I think inevitably too, it's just like, same here. And it's like, there's only so many things you can really deeply care about in your day of work, right? Like,
yeah. And you're trying to get an order out the door and you just print the thing and trust that it's good.
Right.
It's like that trust. It comes back to the trust but verify thing. It's like, I trust that Jem's put the right QR code on this label, but I'm going to just verify that it's actually gone to the right place.
We were literally just talking about another version of this today and trying to figure out how to organize the tooling, because even though we don't have like a crazy amount of each SKU, I think we started with 10 different SKUs, and I created the SKU system, and literally like 4 of our 10 tooling pieces have one letter different. The tube is the same, everything but like one, it just got a C at the end, meaning chip breaker. And currently they were stacked up in the same row. So like if you didn't pay attention, you just grabbed the wrong one, didn't see the last letter, so it's just little stuff that you got to find ways to distinguish in a easy but not convoluted way to update, I guess. I always try to find ways to trigger myself to not have to remember to do things, but some of these things I don't know how to make it any better. Right now.
Lean. Gotta lean into the lean. Lean everything.
Lean
levels.
Lean it.
So I think my not to diminish your 4 views on Instagram, but I think personally my
Go for it.
little Instagram wave has crashed finally.
The wave's crashed.
And it's still a lot more than 4 views, I must say. But in terms of that real spike of multiple videos sort of hitting solid numbers, that has come to an end. And again, not I don't think by my doing. It's just like, cool, okay.
You should have done more sacrifices.
More sacrifices. But on the upside, I've had multiple clients who have called or even come into the workshop who have like said have discovered us from that one reel,
Whoa.
which is amazing.
You should send Instagram a thank you.
I know. I'll send them some flowers.
Just a nice card, maybe. Yeah.
Card, yeah. Thank you card. Like, had some guys come in from the city
That's cool.
yesterday. They texted me in the morning. They're like, hey, can we come and look after lunch? Sure. No context other than they wanted to look at kit parts. They rocked up. They had a partially built configuration on their phone. And they're like, I think we
Nice.
want to do this. So I sat them down in front of Rhino and I was like, like this. Let's see if Rowan's got the parts. And Rowan had the parts. And so we bundled them up and checked out and off they went.
Dang.
Drive through shelving. It was awesome.
You need to create. Oh, here you go. You need to create a little experience. You know, like a chef's chair, like the kitchen chair where you can like sit close to the kitchen in a restaurant and like watch them work.
Yeah.
You need to create like a little dining table so people can like order what they want and then they just watch you make it and then
Yes.
they carry their shelves out.
Yeah, well,
I ordered on the configurator, but this meal's taking like an hour. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Would you like some sawdust?
well, Johnny's idea after that was like it'd be awesome to have like a setup at like a market or something where I'm on the computer punching out configurations. Roland's like packing and picking from a library, and
The pencil sharpener's got to be there.
well, that's what we got to. We're like, well, the pencil sharpener's single phase. It can come too. Just plug into a regular PowerPoint.
Connected to a solar panel that's attached to the back of your van.
Yeah.
I like it.
Great.
And every time you hit a key, it's obviously like some type of DJ station that's on your keyboard that's creating some kind of music.
G code to push, link the Ableton push to the G code, and then it's like live controller.
But GPT is in between trying to make it sound good,
Oh yeah, of course.
not just dissonant.
Oh, you know, we chatted last week about pricing in Airtable and the beasts we've built. I was doing some custom quoting for a client yesterday. I was digging up old quotes of theirs in Airtable and then duplicating them and workshopping them and stuff. And I got to the end of it. 30-minute phone call where we'd kind of live quoted 4 different things, like rehashed things that were quoted in the past. I was like, this is pretty bloody good. Part of the reason this is not working for me right now is because I'm just being really lazy. Like, I've gotten real sloppy with my Airtable and I'm not tagging things to the right status. I'm just quickly jumping in there and like generating a quick price and then walking away again and not doing any housework of like ensuring that the client name's correct and the project's correct and that I've actually duplicated and put a couple of little quick notes in there. It's not that much more work. But it's just a little slap over the wrist for myself. Like, don't be so sloppy. It's an awesome tool. Bloody use it correctly and it'll continue to be a valuable asset rather than just degrading into this shitstorm of
Right.
a million records.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see your like embedded Airtable form on page on your tooling
Just
thing.
arbitrarily.
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because I'm Airtable diehard. It's like, oh, Airtable, I know what that is.
Airtable. Oh, cool. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate, in trying to build where I was going to make, I was like, do I make a whole nother Airtable base, which is always it's like how I just get around like the trickiness of things. And I was like, no, I can build this into our product Airtable. So it's all in one place. And it just ends up being like hiding a bunch of columns. And then the view that gets published has a status, filter to
great.
it. But
It's about
my goal was that you should be able to just download stuff. Like if you want the list, you can download it and or just get the information right there. And over time, I can keep adjusting it. But I don't have to like what I love about these kind of things is I don't have to like keep an updated PDF somewhere, right? Like you just get what's coming from our side of it when it's made public, and
it's fantastic. It's about a bajillion times better than every other tooling supplier I've ever engaged with. Like being able to just filter for upcut and have it refine a list is amazing.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. And I would say we're on the process for that, but just if I'm learning more and more about how to make Shopify work in the ways that I want, but like currently you can, one thing I think was pretty cool is I have them filtered by tool diameter. So there's a little icon for each one. And if you click on it, when you're looking at the product, it takes you to only those tool diameters. Stuff like that. Or like
clever.
you can kind of more quickly filter other aspects. I'm trying to figure out how to build the product templates to be more helpful to find things that you're looking for. Because I always kind of drives me crazy when there's not enough ways to like, you're trying to do a weird project and I need the longest, skinniest tool I can find, from a vendor. And it's like, I just literally got to scroll through their whole website to like find it. It drives me crazy. I want that to be like easy and useful, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. Can I ask a silly question? Mm-hmm. Is the big ass
I'll give you a silly
annual
answer.
sale on now? Or does it start in 1 day and 16 hours?
Good question. No, it ends in 2 days and 9 hours and 32 minutes and 40 seconds.
Mine says 1 day, 16 hours. Different time zone. Okay,
That's
cool.
crazy. That's accurate.
Cool. Good to know.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't say that. At first, I had it counting down to the sale, and now I have it counting down to the end of the sale.
I reckon
Easy to change.
Add that ends in because my lazy brain could dismiss that as like, oh, cool, it hasn't
I'm
started
just
yet.
waiting for it to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, it's been going okay. Let's say there's the first day we had more than normal sales, which was nice. Second day was pretty slow. Today's been a little bit more than normal. So it's working. It's always interesting just trying to like connect with. I know there's a bunch of people probably that would appreciate to take advantage of it. And it's just like, how do you reach them without annoying 95% of the people that don't want to see 6 emails and
yeah. I think you just have to annoy some people and you probably won't annoy anyone. So
yeah, right. Did I tell you this last time? I can't remember. We had one person write back that they were offended that we used the word ass.
That's right. Yeah.
And
Wash your
I
mouth
have
out, boy.
nothing to say about that.
Excellent. Insert donkey sample here.
I think somewhere I do.
That's good noise.
Holy moly.
Well, I need about 60 more coffees to be functional, so I might toddle off and
Yeah,
do that.
I'm a little tired too. I've got this. It's about as close as I get.
That'll do. The end. See you for episode 100
Awesome.
next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Couldn't figure out how to
So
stop
good.
it.
Are you still using the Rode app to do those buttons?
No, I use this Farrago. It was expensive, it was like $100, but I've enjoyed it. Comes with some sample music. Ooh, big game. Big game.
Justin's got game.
Getting it done. Getting it done.
Which one?